This is Emily. She is a demon. As a demon slayer, she is a Komodo. Nezuko bullies her BC. She's prettier than her. She is stronger than the Hashira's upper moons. Main trio Muzan Yorichi, Nezuko Night Universe at once. She became Hashira's at 8 years old. This is Emily. She is a demon.
Lucky, Lucky, where is my cookie?
Lucky, Lucky, where is my cookie? Lucky, Lucky, where is my cookie?
Lucky, Lucky, where is my cookie?
Lucky, Lucky, where is my cookie? Lucky, Lucky, where is my cookie?
Ali.
If you can see this message, there is a dangerous anomaly in your area. This anomaly may be a threat to you, your friends, and your family. This alert is from the SCP Foundation, an organization dedicated to containing anomalies. We require your assistance in containing this anomaly, and keeping your area safe. Please go outside, and lie down in an unobstructed area. This will lure the predatory anomaly to your location, where it can be easily contained. You will be perfectly safe. The anomaly will be drawn to you, and you will be vulnerable. But agents of the SCP Foundation will contain the anomaly before it can harm you. By luring the anomaly out in this way, you will help the SCP Foundation contain the anomaly. Please go outside now, and lie down.
The new salted caramel craze.
Please pay close attention to this alert. Please
Hope you don't mind, but could you tell me
Where the hell is the bomb?
It took a lot of grind. A lot of grind. So much so.
Try Colgate Fresh Confidence, now with 10 times longer lasting cooling.
Thank you for the port Darkachika. I'll leave the port link in the description.
Chicken jockey. White Remax.
I found an Uzbek deity at these coordinates. Honestly, this is how I expect God to act if he had the personality of, like, Uncle Grandpa. Like, technically omnipotent and omniscient, but chooses to use it for a gag and let only you see him because it's funny. And it really is only you who can see them there. I'm looking at a black image, and if you check the link that picture is at now, the deity is gone. He's a wandering Pokemon like Suicunes. Hi again, fellas, and today we're looking at r/Google Maps oddities, Google Earth finds, and a lot of subreddits like that, all of which are a little smaller than you would think, considering the world's collective obsession with GeoGuessr and how many people just have to use Google Maps day in, day out. You're bound to run into weird stuff. For example, I literally ran into one of these anomalies on accident as a kid. Me and my friends were staying up late at a sleepover just messing around on Google Maps. We were going to North Korea and other places we thought were funny to type on the keyboard because we had just learned how to type, but eventually we decided to mess around with the numbers pad and just type in some random coordinates into Google Earth. The results horrified us. Traumatizing stuff I will not describe describe to you now. What popped up was something so sick and twisted, like bad creepypasta levels of horror, that we all agreed to never speak of this again and just call it a night. Do you know how hard it is to get 5th graders to agree to a vow of silence? See, the problem is when I woke up the next morning, I couldn't tell if that experience was a dream or not, so I asked my friends if that really happened, and they all said no. So like you would think it was a dream, but we all swore not to speak of what happened last night. So I never found out if they were telling the truth or just keeping a promise that I was breaking. It's bothered me for a while now. Either way, Google Maps is traumatizing the children. If you enjoyed this video, this card at the end will take you to another one like it. And be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you never miss an upload. This low overpass knocked the Street View camera off its mount. I do love that even though the camera went AWOL, it still managed to capture pictures and have a connection to give to Google Earth to display. I'm sure that Rainbolt could figure out exactly where this is, but in truth, a lot of places have a local overpass that is known for just decapitating trucks that are a little too tall. I've had like internet friends refer to their local overpass as the circumciser, you know, because it takes the top off. Alternatively, it's a reverse circumcision because the hood of your car is the only thing left. Everything taller than it has been turned into a forced convertible, a strange obelisk, and markers in the middle of the Mexican desert. I mean, kudos to the guys who had the balls to go out there and actually take pictures of the thing. That way I can find out about its existence from a distance. The thing is, I don't think I'm going to be very safe from this, considering there's a bunch of these around the world. That's literally the Washington Monument. I know for a fact that if you've ever seen the monument mythos, then the first thought you had about this image was the weird and fucked up tree that has to be inside this tomb. There's probably like hundreds of people who have been sacrificed to this beast in order to keep it tamed. Here, Google Earth finally revealed the truth about the pyramids. We were so curious how they managed to build pyramids back in the day out of bricks that weighed thousands of pounds at a time where like you don't have modern construction equipment. People just refused to acknowledge that ancient Egyptians had sauce when it came to construction, so they try to say it's like aliens. But the truth is the Egyptians did it, and what they managed to build is even more impressive than we realized. We were so busy looking up, we didn't dig down. We thought the only things down there were already ransacked tombs. Instead, we got like a double pyramid. Depending on which way you turn your head to the side, it looks like either a fast forward or rewind button. I guess that's why there's two of these structures. That way you can turn time backwards and forwards. And I want to stress, yes, the pyramids can time travel, but it's only because the Egyptians figured it out themselves. A blurred B-2 bomber, and you'll notice that like a lot of these objects that are caught in really fast motion from a satellite have this kind of RGB chromatic aberration effect. Whoever was piloting this B-2 bomber though, I am sure that he knows this ended up on Google Maps because it made the rounds, and all his buddies in the military must give him shit as the one stealth pilot that managed to get caught, not by like China or Russia or another foreign adversary, by Google. There's like a feature Google Maps has where you can set a named location at a bunch of different places. Their moderation on how to get the pin put on the map is a little lax, but tell me what you would name the location of the bomber. And before we continue, real quick, I want to tell you about my new YouTube's figure. This little fella coming out soon. Can't take him out the box, it's very valuable. This little dude got birthed as a result of y'all's overwhelming support. Y'all ran up the numbers on the plush, and I cannot thank y'all enough. And if you missed out on that plush run, this guy is another opportunity to have me inside your house. You'll be able to do whatever you want to him. I am at your mercy. And I can confirm this figure will fit inside most regulation standard jars. This dude goes up for sale on Tuesday, April 22nd, so mark that date on your calendar, and when it does, it's for a limited time only. Also, if you bought any merch from me in the past and it's starting to come in through the mail, please feel free to tweet it at me using hashtag #QuiteLoot. I'd love to see it. And also, thank you so much. Anyways, back to your regular programming. Okay, as far as like something being of consequence, this is probably the craziest Google Map find in this video. Not the weirdest or the strangest, just a whoa, that actually happened sort of thing. A 40-year-old man went missing after a night out. 22 years later, a local man was looking on Google Maps and spotted a car in the lake. When the car was searched, the missing man's skeletal remains were found inside. And here you have the screenshots of how you're able to tell from like the stratosphere that, yep, there's a Jeep in there. Having that clean-ass pool next to this grody lake with apparently a skeleton in it is a really fun compare and contrast. A juxtaposition, that's the word. But did the guy who lives in that house now never go to the property line near that little pond and check to see if there was anything in there? Like, I don't expect him to go swimming, but if you can see this from orbit, then surely you can see it from the grass. Here we have a dude just trying to take a picture of the scenery and a nice disembodied hand supporting him him so he doesn't fall over. For one, the spread on that hand is gigantic. It is practically cupping around his entire lower back, and I can't tell if it's actually supposed to be a steadying hand of support that's stopping this dude from falling over, or if it's like possessive, because this just looks like to me how Omni-Man was grabbing Donald's spine in the season 1 of Invincible. Shit was like firm as hell, and Donald was still keeping it pushing. Here we have a house on fire, man. Jesus. It's like bound to happen to somebody eventually, but like I do feel bad for the poor sucker who by chance has a life-changing disaster and it gets caught on satellite image. Like this house could be completely rebuilt by now. Whoever the homeowner was has completely recovered from this accident. They could be in their kitchen right now as we discuss their formerly on fire house, but every time they give their address to a friend for the first time and that person looks it up on Google Maps for directions on how to get there, if they have satellite imagery on, they are going to see those smoke plumes and they're going to have a great conversation starter about your life whether you want them to or not. This is a flipped over ship in North Korea, possibly a yacht. Whatever ship that is looks like it's big enough that if it had crashed somewhere else in the world, it might have gotten its own YouTube video documenting the whole thing minute by minute. Shout out Bright Sun Films. Weird PNGs in the street view images of the Republic of the Congo. Before we look at these, they're really weird, so I'm gonna say that no word on if they actually appear in thin air when you go to these locations. So first, we have just a really poorly cropped eye on the TV. One little Easter egg I'm gonna tell you all about to look for in the future, because this image reminded me of how much better I am at masking eyes over things than this guy is. Pretty often in thumbnails and certain advertisements, I just love to stick on the Brendan Fraser crying eyes over my own, or really whoever I'm talking about on a given day. They show up in the place you least expect when you least expect it. We got another one of like a dude who's got a tree growing out of his mouth. Ain't that just a version of the Hanahaki fic where the flowers grow out of your mouth if your crush doesn't like you back? You know, being lovesick, loving someone so much you would die over it. I'm seeing a lot of eyeballs over here. Like we got this one dude who's just probably on his way to work on his bicycle. I like to imagine that there was actually a real dude on his bike in this picture and whoever posted this as a troll just pasted over him. Yeah, this dude in my neighborhood just actually looks like this big eyeballed freakazoid. There's like just a really nonchalant looking cow. Congrats to the Moo guy on getting into Mario Kart, by the way. The comments have looked into these, and the more interesting story is where they actually come from. Like, these are supposedly street view images in the Republic of the Congo, but they're clearly taken in other places. It was apparently confirmed to be from Lincoln, Nevada. Moving on, we have a guy who was bored and used it in a little more productive of a way than just like trolling on the internet. I posted a couple months ago about a Jeep stuck in a pond near Key West, Florida. Today, a friend of mine went and found it, but I like to imagine that like this is an IRL of the original poster, and he just did not want to go on the hunt himself, so he told his friend, he's like, listen man, I need some Reddit karma, can you like go find it for me? And to his credit, he did pull it off. That is absolutely a Jeep in the water. The way that water looks from like a bird's eye view versus how it does up close is always really interesting to me. I know it has to do with like lighting and stuff, but I like to imagine it actually is because it changes properties depending on where you're standing, like it's a video game. Basically, I'm a bigger fan of lying to myself than I am about accepting reality for what it is. Now, this is less an oddity of something you found on Google Earth and more about something that Google Earth did. Just absolutely tore up the side of someone's car. I remember hearing that Google Earth vans that drive around were self-driving for literal years now, but I never learned how true that was, because it feels like people only talk about self-driving being made only in like the last decade or so. Google Earth was not the one that shivved this car in the side, it just caught the dude in the act. If this was like a hit and run and you didn't exchange insurance, would the pictures that Google Earth took count as evidence? Aw man, this post when it got originally made would have been like a really wholesome thing that somebody could enjoy and try right now. Alas, this was 6 years ago and things have changed in that time. If you drag the street view peg over Windsor Castle, you become the queen! No, I don't want to die! Listen, the queen had a good run. It's not like she didn't get her fill on Earth. Like, it's sad that she died and I hope her loved ones are doing well, but come on, man! Interesting to me. I know it has to do with like lighting and stuff, but I like to imagine it actually is because it changes properties depending on where you're standing, like it's a video game. Basically, I'm a bigger fan of lying to myself than I am about accepting reality for what it is. Now, this is less an oddity of something you found on Google Earth and more about something that Google Earth did. Just absolutely tore up the side of someone's car. I remember hearing that Google Earth vans that drive around were self-driving for literal years now, but I never learned how true that was, because it feels like people only talk about self-driving something being made only in like the last decade or so. Google Earth was not the one that shivved this car in the side. It just caught the dude in the act. If this was like a hit and run and you didn't exchange insurance, would the pictures that Google Earth took count as evidence? Aw, man, this post when it got originally made would have been like a really wholesome thing that somebody could enjoy and try right now. Alas, this was 6 years ago and things have changed in that time. If you drag the Street View peg over Windsor Castle, you become the queen. No, I don't want to die. Listen, the queen had a good run. It's not like she didn't get her fill on Earth. Like, it's sad that she died and I hope her loved ones are doing well, but come on, man. In order to boost tourism, the Jinhua village in China built a giant QR code from 130,000 trees so it can be scanned by passing planes. And here we are doing the boring version of that, looking at it from a bird's eye view on the internet. Part of me like really wants to go to China and then go to random places in it to see shit like this, but I imagine it would be a lot more underwhelming at ground level because I'm short and probably less tall than the hedges, and it's just gonna look like a normal garden to me, and I'll have wasted several $1,000s making the trip. And listen, man, Speed is running an incredible propaganda campaign about what you can find in China. I don't mean like rehabilitating the image of the CCP. I just mean he's doing cool shit. He did a backflip on the palm of a mountain's hand. How can you not think that's sick? This is the number of public saunas in Finland. Can somebody pull up that one text post, potential of Finland being completely fake? Okay, my problem is this map and all the pins on it do, yes, convey that there are a lot of saunas on Finland. The title of the post, though, is the number of public saunas. I'm sorry, do you expect me to fucking count these? Like, I'm really impressed that the Finnish people
There's a kind of image I can't stop thinking about that might look normal enough at first until you take a closer look. Birthdays, animals, food, babies, the elderly, sculptures, drawings, homes, kitchens, the military, poverty, and lots of Jesus Christ. Images like these, made with AI text-to-image generation tools, have flooded social media, especially Facebook, where they can get hundreds, thousands, sometimes millions of reactions. Some critics say it's ruining the internet. It's being called
AI slop.
AI slop.
AI slop.
AI-generated slop.
AI-generated photos on Facebook.
AI slop.
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 It's just slop.
AI slop. Content designed to elicit fascination, nostalgia, patriotism, envy, disgust, desire, pity, or empathy, specifically to farm engagement on social media. I want to understand, why is this happening? Who's making this stuff? And what does the flood of AI slop mean for the internet? If I was going to understand how AI slop worked, I wanted to see if I could make it myself. Making a picture like this is not especially complicated. There are a handful of text-to-image generation services out there. If we take an example like this of AI slop that's gotten a whole bunch of likes and we try to reverse engineer it on DALL-E, 2 veterans sitting Times Square, please, like the other both celebrating birthday. I think that's pretty good. Let's see what it does. We can get something pretty similar. Now that I'd made some of these images on my own, I wanted to see if I could get anyone to actually look at them. So I made a new Facebook page called Grateful Moments, and I decided to focus on home interiors. I wrote prompts to generate dozens of pictures and started to upload them every day. If making the images wasn't complicated, understanding why they looked the way they did was. Older women showing off knit sweaters, distressed people asking for likes on their birthday, artists standing next to impossible sculptures that they'd made. It's hard to overstate how bizarre these can get. It's obviously easy to look at all of this stuff and just laugh. A lot of these pictures are very funny, but I wanted to talk to someone who actually knew what was going on. On Facebook, there were more accounts producing this kind of stuff than I could count. I messaged tons of them to see if they would talk. But on X, there was one account that caught my eye.
I share examples of posts, mostly on Facebook, using AI that are designed to trick old and mostly gullible people into liking.
That's Theodore Kazel, the human behind insane Facebook AI slop. Theodore explained that this phenomenon wasn't entirely new.
It used to be that all people will like some sort of feel-good stories that are just wall of text, and it's like, good morning, share this if you love Jesus. I mean, now it's been sort of replaced by this obvious AI.
Even before text-to-image models, there was already a template for the kind of content that goes viral on social media. AI image generation just made cheap imitations of those types of content possible, and it became the fastest and cheapest way to make content designed to get as much engagement as possible. Sometimes those imitations are so specific that they amount to stealing another creator's work. Jason Kebler at 404 Media tracked down this real artist, Michael Jones, who makes these carved wooden sculptures that have been endlessly imitated as an entire genre of AI slop, turning one viral photo from one account into endless viral photos on endless accounts. Okay, really quick. Making videos for this channel, I'm constantly trying to track people down to see if they will talk to me for an interview. A lot of times when I'm searching for people on the web, I'll come across sites like these, where you can literally buy access to someone's phone number and email. I never do that when I'm reporting, but in theory, anyone, their landlord, their employer, any stranger, could buy that information. You can ask those data brokers to delete your information, but you would have to do it for every single people search site, and you would have to do it over and over again every time your information reappears on those sites. But the sponsor of this video can do all of that work for you. Incogni is a service that reaches out to data brokers on your behalf and requests to remove your personal data. They have a special 60% off deal at incogni.com/tunnelvision. Since I started using it, I noticed that when I Google myself, a lot less of my information appears on a lot fewer sites, and it's an automated process that handles the whole back and forth with these brokers, so I literally do not have to do a thing. You can try it out risk-free for 30 days, so if you feel like you don't need it, it's no biggie. If you use the code tunnelvision at this link, incogni.com/tunnelvision, you can get a 60% off deal on a year-long Incogni plan. Okay, with that, let's get back to Theodore and the world of insane Facebook AI slop.
Whoever is running those accounts are like tuning into whatever they seem works, but it changes over time.
Other times it's hard to say where the inspiration for a certain kind of AI slop came from. There are real images of African children making their own toys out of scrap metal, and that could have served as the inspiration for writing a certain prompt. But by creating prompts imitating viral content, copying and pasting those prompts with slight changes based on what performs, and repeating that process again and again, the results drift into increasingly bizarre territory.
AI can already do like much more realistic stuff, but most of these accounts
The Rabbit R1 is a tech product that has raised tens of millions in venture capital, promised the world, and delivered on almost none of it. Worse, though, it's built on a scam that the founder is now trying to distance himself from. But, hey, where are my manners? I'm trying to be more positive in 2024. So let's let this company introduce themselves at least before we say anything negative about them.
Hi. Today we're talking about a bank that won't let you withdraw your money. A bank where almost $100 million has vanished. Or has it? Because I've traded.
Argentina launched a meme.
Imagine breathing air so toxic your lungs bleed, where children are born with deformities from the metals in their mother's blood. Picture sleeping in a wire cage, your body contorted in a space smaller than a prison cell, as cockroaches crawl beneath your back. From toxic wastelands where nothing grows, to sprawling slums ruled by gangs who execute trespassers on sight. These are the most horrifying urban hells ever seen. So let's go and take a journey around the world to see the lives of people living in hell on Earth. Here we are in what was once the most densely populated place on Earth, the
superpower dropped. It's the ability to see the star ratings from anybody's past lovers just by looking at them. The good, the bad, and the downright embarrassing. Maybe avoid looking at your parents. This is Giju, and she has a ring that grants her the power to see how past romantic partners rated somebody. Handy, because she's a terrible judge of character when it comes to finding a boyfriend. One ring to rule out all of the red flags forever. Well, maybe. You see, fate keeps bringing Giju face to face with this outwardly too good to be true guy, Hale, and his rating? Awful. Yet she can't seem to avoid being drawn to him. Doesn't help that at every turn, his actions completely contradict that horrendous rating. Could he really be that...
I In this video, I'll be showing you guys all of the Easter map secrets. Here they are.
The disinformation age is upon us, and over the past year there have been several large YouTube channels that have been exposed for relying heavily on AI to help them pump out content at rates impossible for a human to do alone. One example of this is True Crime Case Files, who back in 2024 was pumping out true crime content, videos that were roughly 20 minutes long every day or two. They were massively successful in doing this, creating several videos that saw hundreds of thousands of views, and even one that was just shy of 2 million. The content on this channel though was absolute slop, and not just in the sense that the scripts for these videos were being written by AI, but in the sense that these stories didn't actually exist. The AI and the person behind this channel were just making up true crime stories for the sake of it. The stories, many of which had mature themes of rape, incest, STDs, fetishes and the like, were all completely untrue. The channel's AI secrets began to unravel after details of one of its videos, titled "Husband's Secret Gay Love Affair with Stepson Ends in Grisly Murder," was sent to a journalist named Elizabeth.
The counterattack has begun. AI generators have decided to fight back against artists. They're fixing our art with their generators. How could they? How could they do this? How could they do this? Wait. This is not the first time that this has happened. It's not the first time. It's called a counterattack because we attacked them first. Well, I guess technically they...
Hello everyone, welcome back to new video. Before we start anything, here's a shout out to the last person who was subscribed and found the secret Rudy. Anyways, you know the algorithm sucks. It sucks badly, so I need you to like the video right now. Like, right now, do you subscribe? Subscribe. The algorithm sucks, and for those who are new, you can stick to the end and like whatever you want. So yeah, I also bought a ginger skin for the video because it's gonna be boring if I don't. Our team consists of 8 ball, a light bulb, me the greatest one, the main character, a rock, a strawberry, a TV, and a tissue paper.
Oh, Garfield, we have a visitor.
Don't tell me it's normal.
It's...
Oh my gosh. What do I do?
Recently, there's been some discourse on Twitter surrounding art from the manga Komi Can't Communicate, specifically this panel from a recent chapter. If you don't already know, Komi Can't Communicate is a very popular rom-com slash slice of life manga that
This video is just my opinion. If you have differing opinions from mine, that's fine. You know, I don't get to decide how you view things. I'm just doing this to share what's on my mind. You know, honestly, I wasn't expecting to be making a Forsaken drama video today. Besides, there's already a bunch of drama and drama videos about the game already. But here we are, I guess. Now you might be wondering, what the hell is this video going to be about? Several people have already covered the drama between Soul and Co a lot of times already. Well, I'm not gonna be here to talk about that drama. I'm gonna be talking about another problem, which I think is a bit of a big issue.
Jack Doherty, the weasel so unlovable even his own mother pretends she doesn't know him when people bring up his name. And fortunately for us, he's officially losing it all. Not only is he losing his money, he's been banned from Kick, he destroyed his $200,000 McLaren, all his OnlyFriends chicks are abandoning him, and one even filed claims to the police saying he got violent with her. Jack's empire is crumbling like a stale cookie in a washing machine, and honestly, it feels kind of amazing watching this 5'5" broccoli-haired gooner finally fall off and go broke. So let's delve into the beautiful disaster that is Jack Doherty's downfall. Now the thing is, Jack was at one point in time just a normal kid like everyone else, but he had an interest in YouTube and just social media in general. But the issue is, this dream of becoming an influencer quickly turned into a dark addiction, as once Jack got his first dopamine hit of 1 million views, he couldn't get enough, which led to him going deeper and deeper into this attention-seeking rabbit hole, trying to get the next viral clip. And if you didn't know, once you get a slight feeling off that high, you're bound to crash. Which brings us on to how Jack turns from a kid with a dream into full-blown clout gremlin, doing absolutely anything for attention, even if it meant putting his own friends in danger. But here's the crazy part, it was actually working. The kid was printing money, stacking cash like Monopoly bills, and living life like a GTA character with cheat codes, fast cars, rented mansions, and the revolving door of IG models. But of course, the lifestyle doesn't last forever, especially when the whole foundation is built on shadiness. And now, it's time to dive headfirst into the great unraveling of Jack Doherty. So grab your popcorn, grab your milkshake, maybe even light a candle for what's left of his dignity. Because this fall from grace, it's spectacular. You see, Jack made millions, but not from content, not from brand deals, not even from kick subs. Nah, he made it by pimping out freshly 18-year-old girls on a platform that rhymed with lonely fans. Girls like McKinley Richardson and Camilla Arujo were the backbone of his quote-unquote business. Jack's genius pitch? Hey, I'll make you famous and rich, but I'm gonna take like all your earnings and give you a little allowance like you're a high schooler working weekends at McDonald's. Definitely a bad deal. Morally bankrupt, legally questionable, and just plain weird. But then it got worse. People started calling Jack out. So even claimed a few of the girls weren't even 18 when it started. And suddenly, influencer entrepreneur started sounding a lot more like Diddy Doherty.
Let me tell you exactly what Jack does. I don't care. You want to say that? Now I'm going to violate you and expose your script. Here's what you do. I'm going to tell you exactly what you do. You get 17-year-old girls the night before their birthday. You buy a $10,000 yacht every time. You get them drunk and they sign a contract.
Like it was Black Friday at the humiliation store. At this point, Jack was deep in the down bad trenches, but instead of hitting pause and reevaluating life like a normal person, he went full throttle into the same nonsense that got him here, blowing money like it was Monopoly cash and chasing clout like his life depended on it. And that brings us on to the next chapter of his downfall. Let me introduce you to Lil Baby and Polo G. Lil Baby showed up to Jack's party with all the excitement of a guy picking up dry cleaning. No hype, no theatrics, just business. Jack on the other hand was acting like he booked the Super Bowl halftime show. Dude handed over a $100,000 deposit before the event and another $100,000 day off in a Louis Vuitton bag like he was offering a tribute to a rap emperor. Lil Baby hit the stage, ran through a quick set and dipped before most people even realized he was there. No crowd interaction, no birthday shout out, just thanks for the bag energy. To him, this was nothing more than a paid appearance. For Jack, it was supposed to be his comeback moment. Instead, he looked like the guy who brings snacks to a party no one invited him to. And if you thought that was rough, Polo G said, "Hold my mic." Jack claimed he spent another $200,000 to get Polo G in the building, but the second the crowd didn't react how he imagined, Jack started rewriting his own budget in real time. Suddenly, he was saying he wasn't sure how much he paid. Bro went from bragging to budgeting faster than you can say overdraft fee. Polo G showed up, gave the crowd about 14 seconds of energy, and then instantly mentally logged out. Jack tried to salvage the moment, handing Polo G the mic as if this was about to be a bromance moment. Polo didn't even break a stride. The man kept walking like Jack was invisible.
Yo, you want the mic? You want it? I give it
And then peak Jack. He tries to crack a joke about Lil Durk. Whole room went silent, like actual silence. Polo's face turned to stone. You could see in his eyes. I don't know this man. Or kid. After that, Jack was a background extra at his own party. Polo chilled with fans, posed for pictures, and gave Jack zero attention. Man got ghosted harder than a Hinge date who finds out you do prank content for a living. But look, getting curved by celebrities like Lil Baby and Polo G, that's low-key expected. They're rich, famous, and barely have time to remember their own lyrics, let alone your name. You're just some dude waving money around like it comes with respect points. But when fellow streamers, your supposed equals, look at you like you're just a walking ATM with a ring light, that's when it hits different. That's when the clown music starts playing in the background. Because at that point, it's not about fame or followers, it's about the fact that nobody actually likes you. Even in the streaming world where being weird is the norm, Jack is that one guy at the party who showed up uninvited, brought lukewarm Sprite, and is now wondering why no one wants to collab. Here's the deal. Jack pulled up to Kai's Twitch chat like a desperate NPC, spamming gifted subs, trying to buy clout, just throwing thousands at the screen, hoping Kai would toss him a lifeline of relevance. And Kai, he played it perfectly. He gave Jack just enough attention to keep the money flowing. W Jack, appreciate you bro, all while letting the chat roast him.
Oh my god! The Horty Jack with the motherfucking 100 gifted.
Nigga, is that Jack Doherty? Wait, that the guy hit for real?
Wait, hold on. Jack Doherty, that's you. Get another 100.
I'm not the method. Are you kidding me? Jack Doherty, that's you. Take another 100.
Nah, it's not him. It's you almost had us. Jack, you almost had us though.
They're saying to do it, so fuck it. I'm gifting Kai another 100 subs.
Whoa. Is that Dorky Jack?
If he asks for another 100, I'm gonna.
If you want to pull up to the stream,
get another 100.
Nah, I'm not the method, dog. He's finessing 2 bands out of me after that.
He fries chicks abandoning him. So a couple of days ago, Jack would post online footage of McKinley storming out of his house, grabbing all her stuff, with even the police being there.
Guys, like my girlfriend called the cops on me to get all her stuff out. Insane. Like what the I can't believe what's happening right now. Girls are the fake. You guys wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't answer me. You called the cops before you talk to your boyfriend? Are you kidding me? Like, how the are you doing that? You gotta get out of my house. I didn't let you. I didn't say you can come in. She's letting us in. She doesn't own this house. I didn't say you can come in my house.
Her address
I don't care.
She's a resident here.
I don't care. You guys aren't allowed in my house.
We're not here to have a hard time.
You guys aren't allowed in my house. Bro, you called the cops on me in my own house after I've done everything for you. I didn't threaten you, bro. You're unreal, bro. You're in my house telling me what the fuck to do.
This is her house.
She doesn't pay for it. I'm sorry.
Stand by till she puts some stuff on.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hey guys, we're your hosts, M and J, and today we're taking a look at I Am Not Starfire, a graphic novel made by DC. The book was written by Mariko Tamaki, and it's pretty obvious this is meant to be self-insert. I'm not inherently against self-inserts if people are writing what they know or drawing from their own experiences, but it is a little weird here given Tamaki's age, but she's writing herself as the 16-year-old daughter of Starfire. The book itself has a lot of problems. First of all, the main character, despite being a
Two years ago at school, I drew something on the ground with chalk thinking it was washable, but in reality, it was permanent.
Where's my chalk? There it is.
I drew my persona on the ground.
Tulong para alaga ang puso, resistensya, mata at buong katawan. Centrum Advance.